The more you reveal your pain, the more susceptible you become to others wishing to cause harm. While this isn't always true, unfortunately, some people derive pleasure from witnessing your suffering or even actively contribute to it. This sadistic and envious behavior exists in many people and can significantly hinder your personal growth across various areas of life, whether it's in the workplace, among friends, or even within your own family. Therefore, mastering the art of concealing your vulnerabilities might just become your greatest strength. Imagine yourself as a sturdy tree in the midst of a raging storm. Though the leaves may tremble and the branches may sway, the core remains unwavering, deeply rooted in the ground. This symbolizes the concept of silent resilience that we aim to impart here. We'll explore how you can become even stronger by demonstrating that you're not easily swayed by external or internal turmoil, where each challenge molds you into a resilient entity, unshaken by the storms of life. You're not ignoring the storm, but choosing not to let the rain drench you and the wind knock you down. You'll be mastering your own fate, resolute, robust, and composed amidst chaos. In this discussion, we'll delve into 18 Stoic principles of Epictetus, a revered philosopher you're likely familiar with. Furthermore, I encourage you to cultivate self-awareness, where strength emanates not from the clamor of thunder, but from the serenity of light that illuminates the path ahead. So, for the next few minutes, let's focus on the substance and disregard the daily distractions. Let's begin. Principle 1. Listen twice as much as you speak. Ever wondered why nature equipped us with 2 ears but just 1 mouth? According to Epictetus, this wasn't a random occurrence but a deliberate design, so that we prioritize listening to others' voices over our own. It's through learning from others that we progress in life, rather than endlessly regurgitating what we already know. Therefore, starting today, devote more attention to what those around you are saying and less to what you've been staunchly defending thus far. This principle underscores the significance of active listening and deriving wisdom from others' perspectives and experiences. Often we become so engrossed in our own viewpoints that we overlook the opportunity to enrich our understanding through diverse outlooks. By listening more than we speak, we create room to comprehend varied perspectives, acquire fresh insights, and fortify our interpersonal bonds. This practice fosters personal and intellectual growth, rendering us wiser and more attuned to the world around us. Principle 2. Always be prepared for the worst. One of the primary sources of anxiety and its debilitating effects is the anticipation of unfavorable circumstances in the future. We fret over scenarios such as our children floundering in school, losing our jobs, discovering infidelity in our marriage, or facing bankruptcy. The predicament is that one day we dread one of these scenarios, and the next day another, and so forth. Life's journey, aside from its joyful moments, also entails inevitable trials. At this juncture, Epictetus's philosophy assumes relevance, being both stringent and pragmatic. He advises us to envision that all the things we fear have already materialized. What could possibly be worse? This perspective empowers our spirit to devise coping mechanisms to forge ahead with resolve. This principle urges us to adopt a mindset of readiness to confront life's tribulations. Rather than dwelling in perpetual fear of the unknown, we're prompted to contemplate the worst-case scenario as a plausible outcome and strategize accordingly. This approach enables us to cultivate resilience and coping strategies, alleviating the anxieties stemming from uncertainty. Ultimately, by confronting our fears head-on, we become better equipped to tackle adversity when it arises and forge ahead with assurance and determination. Principle 3. Be prepared to fail, as it is the only way to progress. Often we go to great lengths to avoid being perceived as incompetent, but Epictetus presents an alternate viewpoint. According to his philosophy, being labeled a fool might be one of the best things that could happen to us. This signifies the true path to personal and professional advancement. The Stoic philosopher reminds us that mastery doesn't arise from immediate success, but rather evolves through a protracted process of trial and error. It's through failure that we refine the facets that separate us from excellence. This principle advocates embracing failure as an integral part of the learning and growth trajectory. Instead of dreading the prospect of looking foolish, we should acknowledge that making mistakes is inevitable and, in fact, indispensable for progress. Challenges and setbacks serve as catalysts for resilience building, experience accumulation, and skill enhancement. By embracing failure as an opportunity for refinement, we become more amenable to undertaking risks and confronting obstacles. This mindset empowers us to pursue our aspirations with determination and continually evolve. Principle 4. Beware the perils of fortune. The riches we covet often come with a hidden cost that few manage to evade. It's not just about opportunistic individuals who suddenly emerge, feigning friendship to exploit our wealth. Money possesses a transformative power, and not always for the better. Upon attaining this coveted resource, we may find ourselves endowed with newfound status, and it's at this juncture that our moral fiber is susceptible to erosion by the allure of greed. This principle serves as a cautionary tale regarding the hazards of unrestrained pursuit of wealth and the accumulation of material possessions. It underscores that, beyond the overt risks such as individuals seeking financial gain, wealth itself has the potential to reshape our values and perspectives. Mishandled, money can corrupt our moral compass and estrange us from life's genuine priorities. Thus, we're urged to strive for a harmonious equilibrium between the pursuit of financial success and the preservation of our ethical integrity. Principle 5. Avoid fixation on a singular hope. Human nature inclines towards diversity, suggesting that there's no necessity to fixate all our hopes on a solitary objective. Placing all our faith in one endeavor can be perilous and potentially devastating if it fails to come to fruition. Therefore, Epictetus advises us to pursue a multitude of dreams and aspirations. By diversifying our ambitions, we not only diminish the risk of disappointment, but also amplify the prospects of finding fulfillment and achievement. Epictetus's guidance underscores the significance of adopting a balanced approach to our aspirations and dreams. Refraining from rigid attachment to a single hope or goal allows us the freedom to explore various avenues and possibilities. This not only heightens the likelihood of success across multiple endeavors, but also fosters a more stable emotional state. Failure in one pursuit doesn't equate to the collapse of all our aspirations. This principle advocates for flexibility, openness to new opportunities, and resilience in the face of adversity. Principle 6. Keep death in perspective. This principle is not an invitation to pessimism, but a reminder of death's inevitable role as our ultimate destination. With this realization, we are prompted to reassess the true value of dedicating our finite years to pursuits like accumulating material possessions, such as houses, which, while valuable, won't accompany us beyond death. Imagine carrying daily essentials like a phone and cards. Similarly, it would be beneficial to carry a small notebook filled with Stoic principles. Armed with these, setbacks are perceived not as calamities, but as integral facets of life. We transition from viewing existence as an infinite timeline to a more realistic understanding, prompting us to use our time more effectively and meaningfully. This Stoic principle urges us to contemplate the impermanence of life and employ this awareness to lead more purposeful and fulfilling lives. By recognizing death as a shared fate, we are inspired to assess what truly holds significance and devote our time and efforts to pursuits and relationships that enrich our existence. This enables us to fully embrace the present moment and make choices aligned with our core values, rather than becoming ensnared in superficial or material concerns. Principle 7. True wealth resides in a contented spirit. Through his Stoic teachings, Epictetus offers a distinct perspective on happiness, encapsulated in his renowned quote, "A wise man is one who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This insight transcends mere philosophical pondering. It serves as a blueprint to relinquish our ceaseless yearning for possessions we lack. While we bemoan our deficiencies, we squander precious moments of joy that could be spent in gratitude for our existing blessings, often more abundant than we acknowledge. Thus, genuine wealth lies in a state of authentic happiness. This principle guides us to redefine our perception of wealth. Rather than tethering it to material possessions and external triumphs, Epictetus encourages us to find it within the contentment and appreciation for what we already possess. This mindset fosters inner tranquility and gratitude for the present moment, irrespective of external circumstances. By embracing this outlook, we not only cultivate inner peace, but also nurture a more positive and appreciative stance towards life. Principle 8. Embrace humility as integral to growth. To truly absorb knowledge, one must be willing to reassess what they believe they already understand. Epictetus urges us to cultivate humility, especially in the realm of learning. Walking through life with the arrogance of presumed knowledge distances us from true enlightenment, which arises from acknowledging our ignorance regarding the subjects we seek to comprehend. Therefore, each new encounter should be met with the curiosity and wonder of a child, possessing both the capacity for marvel and the thirst for knowledge. This principle emphasizes the importance of humility in the pursuit of knowledge. Acknowledging that we do not possess all the answers and that there is always more to discover is fundamental to ongoing personal development. Humility serves not merely as a virtue, but as a potent tool, enabling us to keep our minds open to new ideas, perspectives, and insights. Approaching life with the mindset of an eternal student allows us to retain our sense of wonder and engage with the world in a profound and enriching manner. Principle 9. Regard guilt as detrimental. Those with limited vision often point fingers at others, while the average person turns the blame inward. Yet the truly wise recognize that assigning blame is a fruitless endeavor. Modern therapists, inspired by Epictetus's wisdom, are reframing guilt as an emotion to be eradicated from our lives. Overcoming guilt entails refusing to engage in its game. The temptation to shift blame, whether onto others or ourselves, offers an easy escape, absolving us of the responsibility to rectify our errors. However, indulging in guilt proves to be a seductive trap. Only those committed to self-improvement can sidestep this pitfall, simultaneously taking accountability for their actions. This principle enlightens us on transcending guilt, whether directed inward or outward. Guilt often serves as an obstacle hindering us from learning from our missteps and progressing forward. Instead of fixating on assigning fault, wisdom lies in acknowledging our errors, assimilating the lessons they offer, and implementing corrective measures. This demands significant emotional maturity and a readiness to evolve, rather than remaining ensnared in cycles of self-reproach and blame. By acknowledging our imperfections without succumbing to guilt, we can move forward in a healthier and more constructive manner. Principle 13. Avoid harboring hatred towards those who show hostility towards you. Instead, choose to disregard them. Your greatness and moral superiority surpass those who criticize, belittle, and discriminate against you. Therefore, do not waste your precious time nurturing negative feelings for these individuals, as they don't even deserve a moment of your attention. We're advised not to fear those who wish us harm, as their hostile actions are futile attempts to cause harm. Thus, by ignoring them, you become immune to that type of negativity. This principle imparts a valuable lesson on dealing with negativity and hostility. When confronted with hostility or disdain, it's tempting to respond with similar emotions. However, by doing so, we allow those individuals to influence our feelings and actions. By choosing to ignore those who mistreat us, we not only preserve our peace of mind, but also demonstrate significant emotional strength and maturity. This approach isn't about passivity, but rather about consciously choosing not to let others' negativity disrupt our tranquility and well-being. Principle 14. Embrace the path of introspection and reassessment of our life choices, placing simplicity as an ideal to be cherished. In an age of excessive consumption and relentless pursuit of luxury and opulence, this teaching emerges as a beacon of wisdom, guiding us toward a more balanced and authentic way of living. Opting for simplicity isn't a rejection of comfort or quality of life, but a recalibration of our priorities. When we engage in the pursuit of material possessions, we often lose ourselves in an endless cycle of wealth maintenance, which demands not only financial resources, but also significant emotional and physical investment. This cycle can lead to constant worry about payments, debts, and the need to sustain a lifestyle often driven more by societal expectations than genuine desires and values. Conversely, embracing a simpler lifestyle creates room for a more peaceful existence focused on what truly matters. Simplicity allows us to slow down, reducing the stress and anxiety associated with managing wealth and financial obligations. This doesn't imply living without comfort, but rather finding a balance where comfort doesn't become a source of concern or a barrier to more authentic and fulfilling experiences. Furthermore, simplicity offers the possibility of deeper and more meaningful connections with the world around us. Liberating ourselves from the burden of possessions grants us mobility and the freedom to invest our time and energy in relationships, personal experiences, and nurturing our interests and passions. Ultimately, simplicity provides the opportunity to live in alignment with our own values, rather than conforming to societal pressures and expectations. This principle teaches us that by embracing simplicity, we're not just making a stylistic choice, but are moving towards a fuller, more balanced and genuinely enriching life, focusing on aspects that truly matter: human connections, personal experiences, and the fulfillment of living a life that is authentically ours. Principle 15 invites us to deeply reflect on the power of self-control and the significance of emotional resilience in our daily lives. This lesson, rooted in ancient wisdom, resonates with modern reality, where we often encounter words and actions that can disrupt our emotional equilibrium. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, teaches us that within us lie several metaphorical keys that govern our emotional reactions. Some of these keys unlock doors to serenity and happiness, while others lead us towards emotional turmoil. When we allow ourselves to be irritated or disturbed by the actions and words of others, we are essentially surrendering one of these crucial keys to someone else. In doing so, we grant them indirect control over our emotional state and, consequently, the quality of our existence. True strength, as implied by this principle, lies in the ability to construct and maintain a fortress of emotional resilience. This fortress isn't a barrier to connection or empathy, but rather a defense against the negative and unproductive influence of others. By cultivating this resilience, we acquire the capacity to filter what we absorb from the external world, deliberately choosing what impacts us and what we let pass. This philosophy doesn't advocate for indifference towards others, but rather mastery over one's own emotional reactions. Acknowledging that we cannot control the actions or words of others, but only our response to them, paves the way for greater emotional freedom. This freedom is crucial for maintaining peace of mind, focusing on what is essential for our personal growth and happiness. Practicing this approach leads us to emotional maturity, where we understand that, although we cannot prevent the waves of others' behavior from reaching us, we have the choice of how we will ride them. By adopting a stance of resilience and self-control, we safeguard our inner serenity and stay focused on our personal journey, nurturing an environment of well-being and contentment that ultimately forms the foundation for a fulfilled and complete life. Principle 16. Emphasizing the supremacy of friendship over material wealth underscores a profound and timeless concept. This teaching transcends mere appreciation of human bonds. It delves into the essence of what it means to be truly rich in an emotional and spiritual sense. In an increasingly materialistic world, where success is often measured by tangible possessions and visible achievements, this principle reminds us that true wealth lies in human connections. Loyal friends, those who stand by us through life's ups and downs, serve as guiding lights in times of darkness. They offer not only support and understanding, but also help us perceive situations from diverse perspectives, enriching our lives with a tapestry of thought and experience. Cultivating these friendships is an investment that yields immeasurable returns. Unlike material possessions, which can depreciate or vanish, the worth of a genuine and heartfelt friendship only appreciates over time. These relationships, founded on trust, mutual respect, and affection, offer a type of support that defies quantification. Moreover, nurturing friendships entails tending to a garden of shared experiences and memories that become integral parts of who we are. In moments of solitude or sorrow, it's often these memories that bring solace and happiness. And in times of joy and celebration, it's these friends who amplify our delight. This principle teaches us that, ultimately, the measure of our wealth isn't found in the balance of our bank accounts, but in the richness and depth of the relationships we cultivate. A fulfilling life is one brimming with genuine friendships, where each friend is a priceless gem, a source of joy, wisdom, and fortitude. Thus, by striving to be good friends and nurturing meaningful relationships, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to a more interconnected, compassionate, and humane world. Principle 17. Always seek to benefit from circumstances. Whatever happens, it's your choice to derive benefit from it or not. These were the words of Epictetus. Therefore, it's not merely an option, but an imperative to extract the positive from adversity. As long as discernment resides within you, there will be the ability to identify opportunities that arise from the challenges you encounter. For instance, imagine one day you're informed of your dismissal from work. Instead of succumbing to despair and blaming fate, view this as an opportunity to pursue the venture you've dreamed of, while stuck in a less stimulating job. Hence, strive to find the silver lining in every situation. This mindset, cultivated over a lifetime, will undoubtedly guide you towards a more fulfilling destiny than simply surrendering to lamentation. Principle 18, inspired by Stoic teachings, offers an illuminating perspective on navigating life's uncertainties and challenges. This principle advises us to clearly distinguish between what is and isn't within our control, emphasizing the importance of directing our energy and attention towards areas we can influence. Stoic wisdom, as conveyed by Epictetus, teaches us that many aspects of life, such as others' perceptions, our reputation, the ultimate outcome of our endeavors, success, and even the availability of resources, lie beyond our direct control. These elements, beyond our control, can become sources of great distress and frustration if we invest excessive concern in them. The principle prompts us to acknowledge and embrace this reality, thus avoiding the squandering of time and emotional energy on matters we cannot change. Instead, Epictetus advises focusing on enhancing what we can alter. This encompasses our actions, decisions, beliefs, and how we respond to life's events. By concentrating on these domains, we not only optimize our effectiveness and impact, but also attain a greater sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing we're making the most of our circumstances. This principle proves particularly invaluable in times of adversity. When faced with adversity, the natural inclination might be to resent or agonize over the circumstances. However, Stoic philosophy urges us to confront these challenges with curiosity and tenacity, viewing them as opportunities for learning and personal growth. Rather than lamenting what's beyond our control, we're encouraged to adapt our mindset and approach, seeking ways to progress despite obstacles. In summary, Principle 18 teaches us the art of acceptance and transformation. By accepting what lies beyond our control and transforming what's within our reach, we navigate through life with a heightened sense of purpose and tranquility. This teaching not only aids us in navigating the fluctuations of everyday life, but also equips us to confront more daunting challenges with a poised and constructive outlook. Reflecting on this principle, we recognize that Stoic wisdom prompts us to focus on what's tangible and malleable through our actions, while guiding us to release what we cannot alter. This perspective not only fosters inner peace, but also directs us to invest our energy where it can yield genuine impact. By internalizing and applying this teaching, we become more resilient and focused, capable of traversing challenging periods with clarity of mind and serenity of heart. Stoic philosophy, therefore, isn't merely a collection of ideas, but a pragmatic path to a more balanced and enriched life. I hope you enjoyed the video, and since you've reached the end, please share your thoughts with us in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Stay blessed.